In 1962, the Cold War was reaching its peak. Technology was advancing rapidly, and the United States and the Soviet Union needed to make sure that neither managed to gain the technological advantage on the other. To this end, they both deployed spies all over the world to keep an eye on one another, and among these spies was a man named Piotr Zhedrev. Piotr was a Russian plant living in the United States under the pseudonym Fredrickson. He had an extensive skill set, being able to masquerade as an American citizen for months on end without any suspicion. He was also an accomplished engineer, so accomplished in fact that he attracted the attention of the Bureau of Strategic Emergency Command, who wished to recruit him to work in one of their secure facilities, completely unaware of his Soviet background. Piotr was eventually moved to Site X, the Bureau's secret headquarters, working as part of the skeleton crew meant to maintain it during peacetime. Shortly after his arrival, however, something very strange occurred. Site X suddenly received a massive influx of transfers, and Piotr feared the worst. Later that day, the director of the Bureau, Director Falk, called an emergency meeting where he declared that the US had indeed suffered an invasion, but not from the Soviets, from aliens. Piotr was highly skeptical of this claim, believing it to be a ruse to get the weak-minded Americans to work on more ethically questionable projects. But due to Director Falk only distributing information on a need-to-know basis and Piotr's relative isolation working in the hangar, he was never truly able to confirm any of these reports of so-called aliens. Nonetheless, Piotr continued his facade as an American engineer, proving to be a valuable asset to the Bureau in their fight against the aliens. Eventually, the Bureau, seeking to take the fight to the aliens themselves, began work on a ship capable of both spaceflight and re-entry into the atmosphere, something which Piotr realized could pose a serious threat to his home country. Piotr attempted to secretly board the craft in an attempt to sabotage it, but was found and detained. Upon news that a Russian infiltrator had been planted in Site X, Director Falk ordered for him to be debriefed and then killed. Officially, this is exactly what happened. Records state that Piotr was shot and buried in a shallow grave. But only a fool believes the official story. In truth, the intervention of a certain agent may have saved Piotr's life. That agent was William Carter, who was no stranger to deep cover operations himself. He understood how skilled Piotr must have been to avoid capture for so long, and became interested in recruiting him as an agent. After all, borders didn't matter to the aliens. Carter was allowed to speak with Piotr, asking him why he felt compelled to sabotage American operations when the aliens were surely going after the whole world. Piotr made it clear to Carter that he didn't believe there was a real alien threat, so Carter decided to strike him a deal. He would allow Piotr to tag along on a recon mission to see the alien threat for himself, and if the threat was indeed real, Piotr would continue to work for the Bureau to combat it. Piotr agreed, and was flown out with a team of agents to Pima, New Mexico, a town that had been absolutely devastated by the alien invasion. Piotr was horrified when he saw what had happened to the quaint desert town. Hellish artificial towers stuck out of the ground, the human structures below either burning or piles of rubble. However, the crew had little time to reflect on the invasion, as they found themselves under attack by a passing alien patrol. Despite the aliens having the element of surprise, the agents were able to deal with them quite handily, mainly thanks to the assistance of their new Russian friend. Now understanding the brevity of the alien threat, Piotr was committed to the Bureau's cause, and returned back to Site X ready to fight Earth's true enemy. Due to his proven combat experience, he was moved from engineer duty to serve as a field agent under the same man who had chosen to spare him, Agent Carter. Piotr continued to be a valuable asset to the Bureau for the duration of the war. Thanks for watching my video. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed it, slap that motherfucking like button. And if you want to see more of this kind of content, then throw me a sub. I got some more shit in the works. Thanks again. Have a great day.